guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm on my way to DNA Autohaus. I'm gonna go there to have a drive in one of their stock cars, which is a W204 C63 Coupe. I've never really been out in one, so it'd be really good to get an impressions on that car. Last night I was out in my friend's E90 M3, so it'll be a real good kind of an impression back to back to see how a W204 of this very similar era compares to the E90 M3. I'm obviously sitting in my M4, so it'll be a nice little drive across there. Before I start this vid and get into that C63, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of this video. It's not Costa. It's a company called Firino Designs. I'll throw all of Firino Designs details in the description below. What Firino Design do is they do a lot of kit for Porsches and BMWs in terms of aesthetics as well as interior kits, so a lot of carbon exterior kits and things for the interior as well, so carbon bits and pieces around the interior. Now Firino Designs have kindly donated these lovely paddle shifters for my car. The fit and finish of these are absolutely brilliant. They're made out of aluminium alloy. These extended paddle shifters, they are so easy to fit. You don't really need to fit them with 3M tape. They come with these little screws that you just bolt on and they attach to the existing paddle shifters. The feel of them is absolutely brilliant. They're made out of aluminium alloy. They are a little bit cold first thing in the morning on a wintry day, but as you drive and they get a bit of heat around them, they're absolutely brilliant. So a huge shout out to Firino Designs for supplying these paddle shifters. What we're going to do now, guys, is go to DNA Autohaus, cut to the chase and see that W204 AMG C63. So guys, here I am. I'm now at DNA Autohaus in Kidderminster. I'll leave all their details in the description below. You can see the array of stock right behind us. What we'll do is we'll quickly go through the cars that they've got on. Definitely check them out. And then what we'll do is we'll get the C63 out and take that for a drive. DNA Autohaus, definitely the right place to come. So we've got a C class coupe here, F83 series, a very unique colour. It's definitely not a wrap. That's a BMW individual colour. 4 Series Grand Coupe, F80 M3, G35 series, and one of my favourite cars, the E92 M3. Another M135i here with the 666M alloy wheels, a couple of Celicas. But check this one out, guys, you'd be definitely impressed with this car. So an RSQ3, quite a rare car that I don't see many of these about. And obviously we've got a Ford Focus RS, we've already had one of these on the channel. And then check this one out, Fabia VRS, like a proper rally car. There's I think this is quite a rare car. It was homage to Skoda winning the WRC, and they built a few of these. Absolutely sounds amazing. This one's got like about 180 odd horsepower. Might go out in this at some point as well if it's still about. AMG C63, this is the car that I really aspire to at one point. Obviously I've got my M4 which is just parked up here, but this is a car that if money was no object and I could afford all the fuel bills and what have you, this is definitely the car that I would have loved to have in my garage. This one's finished off in the obsidian black. It's got a lot of carbon pretty much all over the car. Starting from the front, we've got a carbon splitter. It looks absolutely amazing. And obviously this is a facelift as well. Now the coupe only came in the facelift, but you got this kind of a new kind of front end design and a prominent Mercedes grille. So what really sets the car off are these 20-inch Aspire ISR 8 wheels. Literally set the car off. Gunmetal grey, complement the black paintwork really well. I mean, just look at the car, it just looks like a beast sitting right there. The interior of this car is very much typical of the era of this car. I mean, this is a 2012 car. So the center console, obviously loads of buttons around here. You've got a double clutch 7-speed gearbox. You've got this kind of a drive control button and a command online system as well. So a bit like an iDrive. What I really like is analog dials. Amazing. So we've got things like memory electric seats even for the passenger, and we've got Harman Kardon sound system. And to finish the car off, we've even got a pan roof, which really complements this coupe. A lot of light that comes into the cabin. It's quite an unusual feature on the coupe. We've got a non-pillarless door. Don't know why Mercedes did that at the time, but yeah, they literally got a full frame door on the coupe. Unusual. So moving around the rear, you've got this real nice carbon spoiler that literally kicks off the back end. And around the bottom end, you've got a real aggressive carbon diffuser. And quite honestly, I think that those chrome quad tips, which are real, they really do set off that aggressive diffuser. I mean, just look at that, man. It just looks mad. Absolutely mad. So guys, that was a very quick walk around. It's absolutely freezing down here as well. My hands are like frozen literally by holding the camera. What we're going to do now is get in the car, take it for that drive, get the GoPro set up, and yeah, let's hit some country lanes. W204 C63 AMG Coupe. That's a mouthful in itself. So I've literally just got behind the wheel of this car, and by no means is this up against the modern performance cars like, you know, the latest C63, you know, the F82 M4 that I've got. It's off a generation which is obviously of the past, so you know, it's more in line with cars like the E90 M3 and the, you know, E92 M3 Coupe. Is up against those cars, obviously naturally aspirated, V8 power. But having said that, it's still a kind of a modern car, if I'm honest. Like the seats, for example, I know I bang on about the seats in most of my car reviews and what have you, or impressions, but it's important because they've got to hold you in the right places, and these seats definitely do. Steering definitely feels vague compared to modern standards, but again, you know, there is feel coming through the steering wheel rather than it just being totally vague. And you're going around like a bend in the road right now, and yet it goes around it. But the best thing about this car is that engine, that V8 engine. It is phenomenal. I mean, like, it produces something like about 450 horsepower, 6.2, naturally aspirated. But the first thing I noticed, and I did say earlier on, I was in the E90 yesterday, and that's a V8 naturally aspirated. This definitely feels way more torquey, lower down the rev range compared to that. I'm literally just driving the car in comfort mode at the moment, and it feels more responsive to the throttle compared to the, you know, the E90 that I was in yesterday. Oh, there's a lot more body roll in this as well, which is not like the E90. The E90 is very planted. This car, there's a lot of body roll, and I certainly felt that just trying to go around this bend in the road. But what you can't beat is the soundtrack of this car. That V8 traction issues. The other thing to know is that, I mean, this car obviously it's making me smile. You know, there's no doubt about that. It's definitely making me smile. BMW, what they do is they make a precision tool. AMG, on the other hand, they make a sledgehammer off a car. I mean, this thing literally, I don't think it's even got a limited slip diff. I think it feels more like an open diff on the rear. I could be wrong, but it definitely feels more open than a limited slip diff. The power on tap is just so damn apparent. there's no doubt that this is a full-on performance car. It's not the most accomplished car from its era. It's got an awesome engine, that's definitely for sure. But the suspension, the way this car goes around corners, you know, that can be improved. It doesn't struggle to put the power down, but it doesn't give you that confidence that it's, you know, gonna handle those bends in the road and the corners as efficiently and without much drama compared to, say, the M3. But this engine definitely blows that S65 engine in the M3 completely out the window. I mean, it is a phenomenal engine. This gearbox, it's a double clutch 7-speed. I am driving in comfort. I'm going to whack it into Sports Plus, see how responsive it then becomes. The sound is absolutely amazing. Listen to that. It literally wants to pounce. You know what? There's very few cars out there that literally give me smiles like this is. It's definitely an occasion to drive this car. I mean, I used to have C-Class Mercs back in the day. You know, they were the regular kind of cars. When the AMG came out, the C63, I mean, that was a car that I was like, it's the ultimate car of the era. Flipping amazing. I tell you what though, it doesn't give me much confidence in the corners. That is for sure. Reminds me a little bit like my M140i with the open diff on the rear. Like, it is quite twitchy. If you say that the M4 is twitchy, guys, this thing makes the M4 feel like it's a proper handling machine. There's not much feel coming from the steering. It's not bad, but it's not really, it doesn't give you much confidence, I'll be honest. Well, I've said it a few times already, that engine, that's a powerhouse. And the sound, just listen to that. Probably can't hear the exhaust on this at the moment, but it's got a nice crackle, and I don't know if this exhaust on this car has been modded. DNA Autohaus tell me that it's quite a stock car from exhaust point, but they've not had it on the ramp. I got a feeling that there's some exhaust mod going on under there, because the way this thing is, it doesn't sound stock from an exhaust point anyway. AMG definitely know how to build an engine, and they definitely know how to make a car sound amazing. So it's getting a bit dark now out there, and I need to get this car back to DNA Autohaus. So probably the right time for me to end this vid. Hopefully guys, you've enjoyed this video. Give it a like, a thumbs up if you've enjoyed those sound clips. Before I go, I want to give a huge shout out to DNA Autohaus for allowing me to go out in one of their cars. Obviously this one, the W204 C63 AMG. Definitely check them out if you're in the market looking for a hot hatch performance car, or you know, a daily car, because they've got a nice amount of cars out there. So yeah, I'll leave all of their details in the description below. And also another shout out to the sponsor of this video, which is Firino Designs, for sending me those lovely paddle extensions for my M4. Hopefully guys, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.